Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog, so let's get to it. I say I'm gonna take some time off, y'all.
All the cashiers, they was like, somebody stole her truck. It was like you could hear it all throughout the store.
This Rox coming to you today with a review for Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage Huntsville, our book 4, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, before we get to the gossip, we're just going to do a little housekeeping, just a little talk with you guys, because I know it's been some time since I've been on camera. Shout out to everybody that had nothing but well wishes and good things to say to lift my spirits when I was in the hospital last week okay, so you guys will just have to I want to do this video and I want to kind of tell you guys what's going on without just getting fully into my business. I don't want to be emotional. I don't want to cry. I feel like I'm going to cry. So I'm going to give you guys the real Cliff Note version of what's been going on. And because you guys see me every week, and I just feel like, you know, maybe you guys need to know a few things that's going on. First of all, the reason why I'm the most emotional today is because one of my closest, best, she was more like a sister. You guys have heard me talk about Val's older sister, Cheryl, died from cancer yesterday. And it has been an emotional past 2 weeks. What I can say without breaking down today is that I'm glad that she's not in pain any longer. I hate this for her children. They're grown and, you know, of course they realize the cycle of life and everything. However, you guys know, like I know, how difficult it is to lose a parent. And I'm just so hurt about it. So hurt about it. So that's one of the things. Here we go. Anyway, when I feel better, I'll tell you some of the funny stories that I have about Cheryl. I have so many great memories. So many. I can't even begin to tell you guys. So one day I'll tell you guys that. But yeah, my heart hurts today. And it has been for a couple of weeks for her because she's been suffering. She's been in pain. And a lot has been going on. So she's at rest now and I feel better about that. Selfishly, though, I wish she was still here. So that's going on. On top of that, you guys know about my stupid blood issues. This menopause has really taken your girl for a loop. I guess I should have known that this was how it would be, considering my mom had such a rough menopause, but we never really talked about how difficult her menopause was, what it entailed. She just always said it was terrible. Now that I've gotten to the age of menopause, I understand exactly what she's saying. These are the days that I wish my mom was still here. So yes, I had to have another blood transfusion last week, and this is the second time. I feel like my life has been interrupted, and this now anemia has become so chronic that it's been debilitating, and it's starting to affect my life. And I feel like the doctors need to go in and give me a damn hysterectomy. So I have an appointment with a surgeon on Tuesday to discuss the options. And I promise you, I'm going to get in there and I'm going to act a fool. I'm going to cry. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to let this man know that I can't keep going on like this. Okay? So that is also going on in the background. You guys know I have friends that are ill, dealing with a lot in their lives, and you know, you care for your friends, you want things to be good for your friends, and when things aren't good for your friends, that also affects your life. Okay, at least it does for me. I'm always kind of like that strong friend that a lot of people turn to, and so sometimes it can be tough, especially when you're going through your own things as well. So that's going on. And then, without really getting into my business fully like that, I just feel like you guys need to know I have lost a lot of weight unexplained. The doctors are still trying to figure out what's the reason. Anybody who's lost a lot of weight unexplained and you know, haven't changed anything. I haven't been dieting. I haven't exercised more. I haven't been trying to lose. It's just been coming off. I've always had a very high metabolism, and I know that also weighs into this, but something else is going on here. And it's starting to get to the point where I can tell when I look in the camera. So if I know I can tell when I look in the camera, then you guys can probably tell as well. And I don't want you guys to be out here thinking that, you know, Rocky's something about to happen. We've taken so many tests. Everything has come back negative. Everything has come back clean. No cancer, no thyroid issues. I don't have high blood pressure. I don't have diabetes. I don't have really any health issues other than this chronic anemia now. And we still can't understand why I've lost so much weight, somewhere around 30 pounds in a couple of months. So it's been a lot, and I am a silent worrier. I don't usually let people know what's going on, but I tell you, I can sit up in that room by myself and worry myself and worry and worry and worry. And so it's been a lot going on, and I wanted to tell you guys that because, you know, I don't be skipping videos and I don't do that kind of thing. January and February has been so fucked up when it comes to this channel and my money and everything, you know, and I have to get back on track, you know. So this is what we are attempting to do now. But I also need you guys to know that when I get on here and I'm super extra emotional and everything, it's just because it's just a whole lot going on. Life is lifing right now. I know it's not going to stay this way. I know things will get better eventually. But, you know, when you're going through it, it just makes things way more difficult. Okay. And, but one thing for sure, honey, life continues to go on. And even while I've been sitting out, you know, the gossip, I haven't really even been on Instagram. I'll pop on every now and then, but honey, the mental ain't been able to handle it. Okay. I finally made myself watch the Wendy Williams documentary. We're going to talk about that in a second. And, you know, just the headlines today, everything is just so crazy. It's actually depressing. I actually feel down, and I normally don't feel down for any length of time. You know, I usually am like, Roxanne, it just is what it is. Okay, get over it. You got shit to do. But I found myself recently just always down. And it's a struggle to get on here and try to entertain everybody when you don't really feel, you know, you don't really feel it. So we gonna get through it, y'all. This ain't the first time stuff like this has happened. And I do appreciate you guys for just giving me the space. Everybody is always like, Roxanne, just get better. And you guys, thank you guys for that. I'm gonna get it together because we ain't crying no more in this stupid video. And so no more further ado, let's get to the gossip. All right, you guys, so first story up. Let's talk about the Wendy Williams documentary. Where is Wendy Williams? Okay, well, was it Where in the World is Wendy Williams? It was the 2-part documentary that was on Lifetime. Wendy Williams seems to have a good relationship with Lifetime Network. They've done a lot of different projects with Wendy Williams. And so they actually spent somewhere around 1.5 years or 2 years with Wendy Williams, just following her and documenting her life. At the time that we started seeing her out, you know, with cameras following her, I thought that they were trying to shop like a reality show or trying to do something along those lines. And every time I saw her, I was just like, this ain't right. Something is wrong. It's not getting better. You guys would send me messages and like, look, Roxanne, she's out. She's doing this. She's doing that. She looks good. And I was like, it's in the eyes. And not necessarily the fact that she has thyroid disease and her eyes bulging like that. But it's something about the Wendy Williams of yesteryear and the Wendy Williams of today that you cannot deny. There is a break there. And so I have always said, and I'm glad that I've said it many times on these videos, that Wendy Williams does not need to be on anybody's talk show, podcast, TV show, nothing. Wendy Williams needs to be able to have her money to make sure that she has the best care health-wise and to take care of all her many issues that she has over there, okay? And I was hoping that that would be the case. After watching that documentary, you guys, I didn't feel like a lot of other people felt. You know, a lot of people was really, really mentally fucked up about what had happened with Wendy Williams. I felt more anger about it because I was watching and I was like, who does this to any human being? Granted, Wendy Williams has not been the nicest person. Wendy Williams probably has created the life for herself. When you look back at her past, she's burned a lot of bridges. She's talked about a lot of people. She's rubbed many, many people the wrong way. And we are now seeing the result of that, where this woman is lonely. She is completely broken by her husband, the divorce, the way that whole relationship came about. This is a completely broken woman. She's lonely. Nobody wants to be her friend. There's many, many people around her that I don't know who to trust. But what I can say after watching the documentary and the fact that the family was able to more express how they felt, how they were trying to keep her and take care of her, and how the courts have ordered her. I've never heard of anything like this. I've never heard of anything like this. That a court can order you away from a state back to the state that you were from. Because why? I'm not clear on that. But you guys, it's just so much that's going on there. First of all, I don't understand why anybody thinks that Wendy Williams could still produce a show, be the talent for any type of show out there. You could look at that woman and tell that she was losing it. We saw the very beginning of the cracks when she fainted on that Halloween show, right? We saw the beginning, and then after that, we started to also see the decline of Wendy's memory. She would forget things on camera. She would lose her complete train of thought, which, that also can be attributed to just be getting older, because I can be in the middle of a conversation and completely lose what I'm saying, But we started to see it happen more and more on camera, and things just started to fall apart. Of course, as the pandemic came and they were trying to do that home show, that was a disaster. And to me, I just was like, why is it that nobody else can see what I can see, which is that you guys keep putting this woman to work. Yeah, granted, she's probably saying that she wants to work, but at some point, somebody has to say, no, you can't work anymore, okay? Let's take this money that you made and let's try to get you back on track, all right? So we know that Wendy has addiction issues, and, she's got real health issues, the thyroid situation, the lymphedema that she has, and then, of course, being broken by her husband. It's been so much that has been heaped on top of this woman. And I just hated the fact that I had to see people really saying, okay, Wendy, we got to get up. All right, you drink that bottle and then come on, because we got to go. Okay, you can't be in this bed all day. And I was just like, it is a certain place in hell for somebody that forces this person to just continue to get up and work, When she was down in Florida, they say she was doing better with her family. She obviously loves her family, but Wendy is her own enemy, where she does not like to be told what to do. She doesn't listen to anybody. And that's not hard to believe, because, some of that shit is hardwired. Even if you do have mental struggles or health issues or whatever, certain things about your personality is going to remain, okay? And Wendy is a strong personality who does not want to be told what to do. This woman wants to be able to drink as much as she wants to drink. She wants to be able to vape as much as she wants to be able to vape. And that stuff has completely interrupted her life to the point where, you know, it's just, I just couldn't understand how they could keep telling her, oh, you're going to be on this show, and oh, we're going to meet with NBC, and oh, we're going to do, it was just like, what? Every single time they got the hope up in that woman to think that she was going to be on a show and all of that, I just was like, what is happening here? That fucking assistant that she has, I'm telling y'all, know I'm not a fighting person. But I'm telling you, if Wendy Williams was somebody in my family and I had to deal with a person like that, I would beat her motherfucking ass. I'd try my hardest, okay? I would try my hardest, because that person is so obviously the one who is gaining from Wendy's demise, Wendy's fall. You know, she just, as long as Wendy is still around, she gonna make sure, you know, she gonna let Wendy talk to her any old kind of way, you know, whatever Wendy say, but she's still gonna make sure that that girl is up and out and dressed and ready to go. And you can look at Wendy and say, she is not ready to go anywhere, you know? And so I was so disgusted to see that girl. What was her name? Sean? I just was like, girl, you have no scruples. How is it that you treat a woman this way? You see what this woman is going through, and you no. So, you know, and even when I see Will and DJ Boob, I don't know who the Guardian is. It was like the Guardian, they kept on saying, and the Guardian, you know, it was like it was a light in the sky or something. We never knew who the Guardian exactly was, but I don't even know how Will and DJ Booth can, I don't know what their place is. Is it something that they felt like they wanted to protect her the best that they can, so she gonna do it anyway, so at least let us be the ones to try to help her? Or are they also on some, we trying to gain something from Wendy? It's so hard to trust people around Wendy. You just never can understand who are the good guys, who are the bad guys around Wendy. But after seeing that documentary, what I can say, because before we didn't know that she had actual family members that was really trying to help. We knew about the son, we knew about her loud ass brother, and that was pretty much it. The loud ass brother is nobody that we really need to be going by when it comes to Wendy, okay? Because some days they was on, some days they was off. Even she has said that she didn't like him at certain times, you know? So it was hard to understand, because we didn't really know what to think about that damn brother Tommy, all right? And then when it came to her son is a kid, you know? Yeah, he's 23 now, but even still 23 for the scope, the amount of problems that Wendy has, nobody 23 years old can deal with that. They wouldn't even know how to handle it, you know? So that's all we knew of. But after seeing the documentary and seeing her niece Alex and, you know, other people in the family that were really trying to get, you know, Wendy, it's two things happening here. First of all, they're holding Wendy to this, making sure that she gets out and still working and everything. That's one problem. The other problem is the family. Wendy doesn't want to be around her family if her family is going to be telling her she can't do what she wants to do. Okay. That is something that is so hardwired and strong in Wendy that she's been to countless, it looks like she's been to many rehabilitations and everything. And she just will not let those vices go. She is not stopping drinking, and she wants to do what she wants to do. So the alcohol has now created her having alcohol-induced dementia. I don't really know the ins and outs of that. I've heard some people say that you can recover from alcohol-induced dementia. I don't know if that's true, but you know, now the brother is coming out saying, oh, she's back in rehabilitation and she's shown significant significant changes. She's doing much better. Listen, I would love that for Wendy, but Wendy still don't need to be on nobody's TV. Even if Wendy comes back, you know, strong, Wendy has paid her dues, and she needs to be what the courts. I don't understand why the courts won't just find somebody that wants to handle Wendy's finances. Okay, now granted, even I wouldn't know how to manage a multi-million-dollar accounts and things like that. I wouldn't know how to do that. However, if they could find somebody in her family that was willing to do that and then appoint somebody from the court to watch the family member that is taking care of Wendy, why can't that happen? But I think it's because the courts don't even really trust the family. At first, I was really mad at the courts for doing this, but I believe that the courts just really don't know who to believe in that. Okay, I think they did this documentary to show that there is some family members that really do care about her and are going to do right by her. Okay, we didn't see that before, but now hopefully this documentary will weigh in on how, because apparently they have to, you know, they look over the guardianship case every year. It comes up for review every year, and whether or not they're going to continue on with the guardianship or not. It is not fair that this woman can't get to her money. And what really makes me upset is that we have heard of many, and I don't want to be pulling the race card and everything, but this is a strong black woman who made millions of dollars, has a huge fortune, right? And we've seen many other persuasions go through many of these similar type of issues, maybe not quite so out loud as Wendy, but we have heard of you know, other celebrities that have had drug problems and things like that, and no court has ever stepped in and took over their money. Okay, this is something that you don't hear about. So the fact that this woman has all this money and the courts will not let her get to, it's like they're forcing her to have to get up and work because she don't have any money. Okay, but really, if you guys would just give this lady her money and let her go sit down some damn where, and get some intense therapy, because Wendy has so many things there, but I don't think it's fair for her to not have her money. Now, much like Funky Deneva said last week, the reason why all this really came to fruition was the fact that her son was over there taking advantage, not on purpose, okay? But, you know, kids are kids. Kids don't like home cooked meals, you know, and you got him up there in New York with his mom. He is ordering Uber Eats every day, all day, you know, and you rack up $100 and something thousand bill on Uber Eats. Did you really think that of course the boy didn't think, because he's a kid, he doesn't know. But anybody who's grown with any common sense will let you know that that is not normal to have a bill that big. I don't give a fuck how rich you are, okay? And when something like that happens, on top of the fact that this woman has had some health struggles, you know, we ain't too sure. We know she's an alcoholic and all this. It's like she's got this not billion dollar, but she's got this $1 million fortune, and we gonna squabble it all away just trying to get some fucking McDonald's and Captain D's? No. Okay, so yes, it would have been irresponsible of the court not to look into that and be like, wait a minute. Okay, so inadvertently the son is the one that brought the spotlight on his mom, and you know, he was like, I never stole from my mom, and I don't believe that he did. But when your mom is not in her best her right mind, and when you say, Mom, can I have $50,000 so I can go, you know, fly to here and do that? Oh, sure. You know, as long as you gonna let her do what she do, then you can do whatever you want to do. You know, that is not the responsible way. Obviously, there's somebody there that is not being, you know, there's something that needs to be looked into this, because next thing we know, this woman's money is going to be gone. All right. So I do believe that the court maybe thought that they were helping her, but I don't believe that is fair, that she's worked all her life and now she is like struggling for money, and she has to work in order to pay the bills and all of that. But she has all this money just sitting over there at Wells Fargo. What's Wells Fargo going to do with this money? You know, there has to be another way for them to come to this. But I just, looking at that documentary, I was just so mad, and I understood fully what the family is feeling right now. I'm sure that dad is overwhelmed. Okay, the son doesn't know what to do. Nothing like watching your parent waste away, even if it's physically, mentally, anything. It is nothing. That is the most heartbreaking thing, especially when they have addiction issues. I've had addiction issues. My dad, you know, was a drinker for many, many years, and it just does something to you to see a person that you love, you know, just making them kind of decisions and just like you just wish that you can get through. So I understand totally, but I was really, really mad because I was just like, this woman should not be going through this. Okay. But Wendy is also her worst enemy because Wendy still wants to be famous. And she is like almost like watching a Hollywood starlet like Joan Crawford or something. When you see the rise of a big star, and then you see the extreme decline. The same with Joan Crawford. When she was going down, you know, she realized that she was old and she was just grasping at straws because now it was just like all these young Hollywood starlets was coming up and Joan Crawford was getting pushed out. I feel like Wendy is that same type of situation. Okay, not necessarily a starlet, but somebody who had a big huge star, and then it was, you know, now it's like she's trying to hold on to it, and it's just like, Wendy, the time is past. The time is now time for you to, you know, retire, enjoy your money, and relax. But Wendy still doesn't want to do that, and so that, and but the reality is that she can't do what she used to do. She can barely walk, and you know, all of that. I just don't think that Wendy needs to be trying to take care of all these people. Wendy needs to take care of herself and her child and her family if she wants to. But you know, I just, that documentary had me so pissed. Oh, yesterday I was watching, I was just like, what the fuck makes this woman do this? She's in the bed fucked up from drinking all night and vaping all night, and they was like, come on, you gotta get up. What? No. So yeah, the documentary, it was definitely an eye-opener. I had a feeling that stuff like this was happening, but to this extent, and then to just have people so blindly like, oh yeah, she's doing great. Yeah, I don't think that, you know, I don't think that it, I was like, bitch, if you don't get out of our motherfucking face with this shit. Oh my God, I was so disgusted. So disgusted. I don't know what's going to happen there, but I really do hope that the courts reconsider and give her money. Okay. They got to work out a way for this woman to not have to be feeling like she has to get up every day, because what else can she do? She can't afford nothing because y'all got her money. It's not right. It is not right. But they need to really have a team of people that is over, that watches them, but give her, loosen up the reins a little bit. You're going to kill that woman. They're going to kill Wendy Williams. Well, you know, she's going to kill herself at the hands of being so desperate because her life is just not where, you know, she wants it to be. And again, I mean, you know, it's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate. And I could say so much more, but I got a lot of stuff I got to talk about. And y'all know I'm on my lunch break, child. I got to be back to work. So, but you guys tell me what you thought about the documentary. Did anybody feel mad like I did? Or did you guys feel sorry? I mean, I just don't understand. Are they seeing how are they seeing something so totally different than what I saw when I watched the documentary? Did you guys see the same thing? Did you think that Wendy could stage a comeback? Ain't a comeback in this world that Wendy can do when she's in the condition that she's in. Okay? So yeah, I just hated to see it, but it was definitely an eye-opener. It was easy to see how something like this can happen. Some people say that this is the, you know, chicken coming home to roost for Wendy Williams. I hate to say stuff like that. Wendy Williams hasn't been, like I said, the nicest person, but nobody deserves the way that she's being treated now. Okay? Yeah, we talked on people's lives and everything, but at the end of the day, this is cruel what they are doing to her. It's terrible. So you guys let me know what you think about that. Let's move on to the next story. All right, you guys, so the next story is Puffy, Sean Diddy, mama named him Sean John Combs. Child, he got another lawsuit, this time from one of his producers. What's his name? Lil Rod Jones. Okay, he say he lived with Puffy for about a year and a couple of months. He was working on his latest album, the Love album. He's a producer, like I said, and I don't know why people continue to work with Puffy and think that it's gonna go any other way than the way it's gone for everybody that's worked with Puffy. You know, especially if you are a known name or you know, not known producer. And even sometimes if you are, because I've heard Puffy has fucked a whole bunch of people over. You know, so I don't know why people still think in this day and age that Puffy gonna treat them any differently when it comes to the music. But anyway, this man apparently lived with him And he said during the time that he lived with Puffy, that he was forced to engage in sexual acts with sex workers and, get sex workers for Puffy, that he would drug his drinks and all of this. I was like, oh, that sounds quite familiar. Okay. As if Puffy was treating him the same way that he was treating Cassie. The guy was dropping so many names when he was talking in his lawsuit. He even named his son in it, said that Puffy and his son Justin, the oldest one. I said, oh, Misa ain't gonna like this. He said that Puffy and his son Justin, engaged in sex and other unscrupulous things with women of underage girls, and he provided pictures of him. He's supposed to be with him, and Justin's supposed to be with these two young girls. He talked about how Puffy would make him watch men have sex with each other, and apparently he had to watch Stevie J and another guy have sex. And he's just, it was very, very salacious. Okay, many things that he had to say, things that we've kind of heard about Puffy, mostly in Cassie's allegations, but also just over the years you've heard different little stories about Puffy. Well, he also put them into his lawsuit. He's suing for something like $30 million. Okay. I don't know if I can say that I do or don't believe the man. I'm kind of just going to wait and see what this is. But it already has shown that it looks like he is probably lying about this. Now, I just told you that he's pissed about some money. He said that he worked on the album. He did not get the money that he thought he was going to get. Before this lawsuit came about, apparently he had a GoFundMe started where he was hoping for people to help him raise money to get the lawyer representation to sue Puffy. And at that time, he was just talking about, like unpaid royalties or unpaid, work from him being a producer or whatever. But then it turned into this huge sexual abuse, sexual harassment case. And of course, Puffy is the man to sue these days. Puffy, many people have given stories about Puffy being a tyrant out there in these streets. And now it just seems sometimes it might feel a little opportunistic for people to now just come out and say, oh yeah, I got a Puffy story too. Okay. I actually have a Puffy story. It doesn't affect me, but, anyway. So I don't know if this is a case of it. To me, it's looking like this man is probably lying. Okay. He's probably using the things that have happened and was just like jumping on the train as well, because I'll tell you why. Those two women that I told you that he said that Puffy and Justin were messing with, they actually have surfaced, and they're both in their 30s, grown women. Okay, that was one thing. The other picture that he provided, where it's supposed to be Stevie J having sex with another man, the person who is actually in that video came out and said, that video is old, that video is me. People always say it's Stevie J. I have always said that is me. Okay, Stevie J came out and said, that is never gonna be me. Okay, because I guess Stevie J was like, niggas a freak around here, but it's gonna be with the women's. So, it's like one by one, his stories have been getting shot down. And so now it's starting to look like it's just one of those things where people are jumping on the bandwagon because the way that Puffy settled. I was not worried, but I was always wondering who advised Puffy to pay Cassie so quickly. They wanted to get that story out the way, but what ended up happening is it opened the doors for everybody to come with lawsuits. Some that are actual real lawsuits that happen, and others that are going to be frivolous and people lying just to try to get some money and jumping on the bandwagon. The way that Puffy has responded to this lawsuit, it was like, oh fuck no. Now I know good and damn well this nigga ain't trying to say I did this, that, and the other, and he is out there like, absolutely none of this happened. This is the first time that he has strenuously said that this didn't happen. And I also believe that his lawyers are probably telling him, like, you know what, you're going to have to really start to say, you're like, no, I didn't do this, because he rolled over so fast for Cassie. I was like, oh, that might make everybody else think that they can come get a piece of the pie too. Now, I don't think that Puffy is a great person at all. I think that he is, he's been out there and he's been wrecking havoc on a lot of people's lives. And, you know, sometimes, you know, that stuff eventually catches up with you. And, yeah, I just wouldn't want to be Puffy these days. But on the other side of that is it's never right for people to just be lying and trying to get a come up because, you know, because it's the thing to do right now. You can get some money out of Puffy. You know, I guess they thought that he was going to turn around. Now, Puffy know he did what he did to Cassie. The fact that he did not try to fight her any kind of way and wanted that to go away, that was as good as an admission to me. Because if you guilty, you gonna try to make it go away. If you're not guilty, you gonna fight it. Okay? And so he knew he did that girl wrong. He gave her her money. Cassie is gone off into the wind and the sunset, her and her husband and her kids, right? But now you got all these other people. You know, at the end of the day, I don't think Puffy's a good person. And you know, you eventually that kind of stuff catches up with you. You cannot continue to terrorize people and expect to get away with it. Not in this day and age anymore. It doesn't work anymore. You know, eventually it catches up with you, especially now that the law is more on the victim's side. And, you know, it's just easier now for people to say, like, this happened to me. Here's my proof. And social media, the way that it is, gets the news out there and everything. I mean, times is just totally different. So the way Puffy was moving in the 90s and all that, he could not do that today. Okay. And now we see why, because everybody is so happy. Everybody is so happy. We're going to see what happens with that situation. But as the time goes on, I feel like he's probably going to get knocked out of the, I don't know how this case is going to go. Maybe he's hoping for a settlement, you know, hoping that Puffy will just be like, here, give him some money and get him out my face. But now it's gotten to the point where Puffy can't do that anymore, because the more that he does that, the more people are coming his way, you know. And I mean, every day it's a lawsuit. Every day I feel like I find out another lawsuit about Puffy. There was just another girl that just posted that I just read. I didn't take the notes on it, but she is she's talking about suing Puffy too. So yeah, Puffy, I wouldn't want to be that man. I wouldn't want to be that man. I actually feel sorry for his kids, and you know, that they have to deal with this, but I'm sure they know their dad too. They probably love their dad to death, but I don't know if maybe the kids, you know, they might not put it past their daddy that he might, you know, do the things that people say in this, which is, you know, that's unfortunate, because you can't pick your parents, right? You don't ask to be born. You get the parents that you get, and then you got to deal with their shit, you know. So I do feel sorry for the kids, but you know, the kids still seem like they're okay. But I know that this has to be hard on everybody over there. Not saying that I feel sorry for Puffy, okay, but I do feel sorry for his kids. You know, they shouldn't have to go through this. But anyway, Puffy say he gonna fight this one. And we'll see how it goes. We'll see if he sticks around, this Lil Rod guy. But every day it looks like people are shooting down his stories left and right. So I think Puffy might be in the clear on this one. What y'all think?